And
hi.
I think maybe it's going to work tonight.
Did we get it figured out? Did we? I say
Yay!
we. Did you get it figured out?
We are back for episode 21, version 2.0.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Hey, everybody. Hey, Esty and Lena and Dave and Christy. They're all on. Our friends are all
I know, right?
They're all on with us. Yes.
It hasn't been too long since we saw you guys in here making fools of ourselves last time. But
Hey, it is what it is. I'm convinced yesterday it was a reminder that it was supposed to be tax day, but then it was like, oh, breath of fresh air. No,
right.
Which we're naughty. We haven't filed taxes yet.
Yeah, well.
You know that you don't know if you get a refund if you put it off filing taxes, right? People who get refunds, it's like, oh, I'm filing right now. As soon as, February 1st or whatever, as soon as you can. But anyways, hi, everybody. Welcome. Happy pre-Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. Yay, tomorrow's Friday. Although...
Pre-Friday?
Pre-Friday.
I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
I don't even know where I came up with that. Somebody else posted a pre-Friday. I think it was actually like a work thing. Somebody posted in like a work chat something about happy pre-Friday. Anyway, so what's going on with everybody? I hope everybody's having a good night and welcome back to our Darkness Live show. We're glad you're here. I say we, I'm assuming we, I can speak with the we.
Well, yes.
It's funny how many times I'll go to the store and I won't have, especially now with all the crap going on, I won't have any of the kids with me or anybody. And if somebody asks me if I need help, I'll be like, oh, we're good.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I'm good.
They think I'm crazy now.
There's no we here when we go shopping or whatever. But anyways, yeah, welcome all of you. And, yeah, let's get this show going.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's really weird right now because of all this stuff that we're about to talk about, and people we're about to talk to. It was supposed to happen last night, it kind of, and then we ended up. We did have like an hour or so long conversation with Lena on the phone last night after we finally gave up. And so it seems like this has all happened already. So I mean, it's like this. It's like the weirdest deja vu ever. But anyway,
it is.
So we're here.
But of any group of people that wouldn't question why something didn't work out, we have the right group of people.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, I'm convinced that I spoke of that last night. David Mitchell said, "The royal we strikes again." Oh God, I miss all of you people.
We're here. We're in our studio, our dedicated Darkness Live studio, where the lighting is absolutely atrocious and the acoustics, I'm sure, are horrible. But that's all a work in progress. We'll get that all dialed in.
We will.
I can hear it in my headphones. The echo is terrible in here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but we'll put up some baffles or something and get that all taken care of. I just wasn't sure quite what to expect. That's the reason I haven't done more to it than I have.
Right.
Anyway, we'll get some paint thrown up and some better lighting, and at least we have lights in here now. We didn't have lights in here when we first got the place. So
this is true. And internet. We have internet and lights.
Yep.
We're in the modern age, right? Yeah. So let's see. Tonight, our amazing guest that was supposed to be on last night, but we're just gonna. Hey, we're in the here and now, and Lena's gonna be on tonight, people, which is incredible. Anytime Lena does anything, it's incredible. I think.
Yeah.
I think maybe I made her head a little bit bigger. Actually, no. She's like one of the most humble people I've ever met in my life. I don't think that's even like possible. But no, in all reality, she's one of the most incredible people I've ever met, and she's an inspiration to so many people that she probably didn't even realize.
Yeah.
You know what an impact she has, and she just we just love her so much, and I'm so grateful that this awesome guy over here, I got to meet Lena because of him, and most everybody that probably is watching in one way, form, or fashion is partly due to Lena. It all started with Lena.
Right.
We're getting our Lena time tonight. I'm excited about it.
You got your shirt on.
I've got my shirt on, my Peaceful Whispers shirt. That's her. Is that her main page, Peaceful Whispers?
Yeah.
That's her main
business name.
Her business name, Peaceful Whispers, and but yeah.
That just forewarning, that growl that you hear in the background is not a demonic entity. It's our heater, because this place gets cold, so we got to find a quieter heater. Holy cow, that's loud.
Oh my goodness. So let's see. Do we want to touch on anything before we get Lena on the phone? I thought of something.
Sure.
Why ask you? I'll just answer the question. I'll answer my own question. So you guys are watching on here, be thinking of like something you might want to ask Lena, because we'll have time towards the end of our conversation with Lena that she gave the okay for anybody to jump in and ask a question that they would like an answer to. Now, you know, she has said, and she said to me, and I'm sure she said to anybody on here that's gotten a reading from her before, that, you know, she can't always be 100% with everything, but man, her track record, at least with Jeremiah and I, is pretty damn close to 100.
Spot on.
Pretty damn close to 100% accurate with timing, even with things. So, yes. You got anything else to add?
Well, I mean, we won't be able to probably do everyone, but
we'll do as many as we can.
You know, we'll get to as many as we can. So when we open it up for questions, you know, just post your question in the chat. We won't have you call in tonight, but we'll give her your name and your question out of the chat.
Just first name, by the way. We don't have to give her the last name.
Yeah, we'll give her your first name and your question out of the chat, and we will go from there.
Is there any when you guys are formulating your questions? Was there any parameters for her as far as like don't bring up, you know, don't ask this, or is it pretty open ended? I forgot to ask her that. Lena, are you on here right now? I don't know if she is.
I think she is.
Maybe she could answer that in the chat, that, you know, if it's open-ended or if...
Yeah. Yeah, just let us know, Lena, and we will, see what we can drum up there.
Yes.
But, just a quick...
I hope you all are doing okay and washing your hands and... have enough toilet paper, but you know what? If you don't, there's leaves outside. I mean, isn't that what people did back before toilet paper?
If you don't, let us know. I've got some old T-shirts I could send you or something. You know, we'll figure something out.
Right?
I don't know.
Right? Yeah, we have to get pretty crafty having as many people in the house that we do. So, well, without further ado, let's call Lena.
You want to call Lena?
I'm like ecstatic. Yeah, her and I, our conversation that we had after the debacle last night. That was a really great conversation, and she just everything that she was saying was resonating. It's probably this. Let me turn it down.
Yes, turn it down, please.
I just turned it off on accident. Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll get her on the phone here. Hopefully.
Dave said he's got the Sears catalog handy. Oh, goodness.
Hello?
Well, hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can everybody hear her okay?
Well, how about the sound on your end? I haven't adjusted this equipment in a while, so.
I can hear you guys.
Okay. We're not blowing out the speakers or anything?
No, not quite.
All right.
Can somebody chime in on the chat? Can everybody hear Lena? Lena, sing happy birthday or something.
You just asked me to sing happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
I did.
How about if I just say happy birthday?
Okay,
I bet
that
that'll
works.
work.
That works. There's a sound. There's a
little buzzing sound
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
Let's see
you
if I can
gotta kill that buzz.
back that off.
There's
here
not a
little
lot
bit.
of buzzes that you should kill, but definitely kill this buzz.
You guys keep talking.
You know,
I'll
Lena,
work on this.
I don't know about you, but do you ever encounter somebody that you totally would not have expected to have a like interest with, you know, paranormal or metaphysical or psychic or anything in the realm of what we like talking about, and then you meet somebody and then a little time passes and then there's just a moment where you have a realization that, oh my God, they like this stuff too. This stuff fascinates them. And then it opens up a whole new a whole new box of, you know, conversation, and you almost have this moment of, oh my God, I do like you.
I've had that experience in the past.
Hold on, Lena, I'm seeing if
Go
he's
ahead.
fixing it. Okay, he's trying to fix it. So
I don't know if I'm going to get rid of the buzz or not.
what is that buzz? Do you people out there hear the buzz that I'm talking about? Or maybe it's just, oh yeah, Linda said it sounds like a monitor humming. Could it be because the phones are next to the, all in our 10
I don't
phones
know.
and phone numbers, right? Hey, you know what? People can see us and hear us for the most part. We're doing good.
Right.
We're doing good. Right, Lena? We're doing good.
We're doing good so far.
Yes, we are. So did you have a good day? Did you have a productive day?
Honestly, it's been kind of a sleepy day around here. Just chilling and relaxing.
Man, you know, let's see. Jeremiah, how was your day in a nutshell? Was it okay?
My day was frustratingly unproductive.
Okay, well, you know what? That was good adjective. Good expression.
Well, okay, so it was productive on the end that I was able to get lots of stuff done with the kids and their, you know, schoolwork and stuff, but I didn't get anything else done. So
Totally consumed with schoolwork, huh? Not even
Yes.
your own schoolwork. Yikes. Okay, well, I went to work, so that was good. I had a great day, actually. I had a really good day today. I'm sorry that it wasn't. I'm sorry I couldn't share in your frustration.
No, you're okay.
But Lena, you know what? A sleepy day is okay too. That's, you know what? That's well deserved. Especially right now, that is well deserved.
Well, I actually had originally had some plans and they were canceled. So
Oh, well, see,
it was just kind of a day off, a surprise day off.
there we go. There we go. All right, Lena, so let's just jump right in here. So do you mind, for anybody on here who might not know, will you kind of in a nutshell explain what all encompasses Lena? I can't hear her.
Yeah, I'm just Lena.
Not just Lena, you're the incredible Lena.
I look at you. I actually have been reading tarot for about 22 years, and I was basically studying that just for my own spiritual guidance. It wasn't originally supposed to be work. It just became kind of my work. But it's still very much a part of my everyday spiritual practice.
okay.
Kind of makes sense.
All right. Go ahead.
No, did you fix it?
It'll be an ongoing thing.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I was sidetracked. So, all right, Lena. So that's in a nutshell. And I feel like tonight. Well, first off, will you go through and explain the different like courses you offer, because you are like this just incredible master of a lot of things, and way more than I can probably talk about. So I know that Lena offers a lot of classes on things, and I know that there's a few people on here watching that have probably completed her classes and can vouch for how incredible they are and how much they helped develop whatever abilities or, knowledge. Hey, that's better. Maybe. And yeah, just Lena, if you don't mind, go through and kind of tell us a little bit about the different classes you offer. Because we'll post your link to everything after this show.
I don't have most of my classes and things listed on my website. I do offer a variety of classes. Some of them include things like soul work, self-awareness, psychic development. I teach tarot. I also teach Reiki. I am currently designing a course about relationships and better ways to kind of connect with people or make connections with people, including some courses that I'm working on about how to communicate and connect with our guides, our spirit angels, those types of things.
Okay.
My most recent course is a soul work course called Mindful Transformation, and it's about trying to get to know yourself on a deeper level and embracing your authentic self.
Oh, that word right there, authentic. That is something that I think a lot of people probably either one, don't know how to do because of conditioning, or two, they never have really. I think probably a lot of people, it's hard for them to express their authentic self if they even are aware of how to be authentic. That's a quality that you possess, Lena. That's a quality that I think for them, well, I can't say like 100% that I do, but I think for the most part, what you see is what you get with me.
Yeah.
Same with you, I think. There's a lot of the people that are watching right now, I would say the same thing. That authenticity is one of those qualities that you look for in people, and I think that's why, people can, relate to you so well, is because it's just this refreshing, oh man, she's the real deal.
I definitely try.
Well, you are very successful at it, my dear.
Yeah, and that's finding people who are authentic and able to be authentic is such a sad enough to say, it's such a rare thing nowadays. I hope this doesn't come out wrong, but it's kind of sad that a class to learn how to be authentic is a necessary thing. Does that make sense?
It does, but I think we also, by our environment and society, have often been conditioned to kind of fit in,
Right.
Oh yeah.
People, they want to, the normal human, which I can't say I'm normal by any means, but, the average human wants to be loved. They want to be accepted. They want to be understood and embraced with compassion. And I think that, because of that, sometimes we lose track of who we are, especially when it comes to like certain relationships. We often try to mold ourselves to make the other person happy, and in the process lose who we are.
Right.
And we don't fully accept that we're still human. We can't be 100%. We can't be perfect. There's always going to be little things. And the course that I'm doing right now is basically to help people get to the point where they accept themselves so they can find some peace of mind, some security and comfort in just being who they really truly are. regardless of the situation that they're in.
Right. Well, that's really well put, by the way. Speaking of what you were just saying, it brings to my mind my son. One day we were having a conversation, and he's convinced he's going to move to Canada, by the way. He's going to live in Canada. And he told me, I don't remember if you were there for that conversation or not, but he said that he already knows his wife lives in Canada, so he has to get a one-way ticket to go to Canada and live there. And I said, oh, how do you know your wife is already there? And he goes, well, Mom, all you have to do is get on Match.com and you put in what you want and that's what you get. And I just had this moment where I was like, oh my God, there's this whole generation coming up that think that, the dating website, it's made to order. Okay. And, I have to say I got lucky because I've actually not once been on a dating website. And I'm really grateful for that. And I just think about, and I'm sure you do too, with the upcoming, with the generations that are, currently trying to meet somebody, huge problem is, like you said, you try to fit what somebody wants. Well, then after time, your true self comes out and it's not what they thought it was. So it's bound and determined to, well, wait a minute. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I thought. So it's going to fail. And that's, I just wish that more people would, learn to be authentic with themselves and with their partners and, not be afraid to present themselves how they really are. I think it would save a lot of people a lot of heartache too.
Right. A lot of people also, forget that we all have some sort of things from our childhood traumas, experiences that really influence who we are now and how we connect to people. And so to some degree, some people will sabotage relationships because they have some fear that stems from childhood that they maybe don't even recognize.
Right. And I think that, do you think that when it comes to relationships and stuff like that, guys, I know we're on here for paranormal and metaphysical, but I love talking about this stuff too, especially with Lena because she has so much insight. But do you think that people are scared to present themselves because they're afraid of rejection? Do you think that people?
I think a lot of them. I think a lot of them have a fear of rejection or that fear of not being accepted. And it's just, that is a part of, to some degree, it is kind of metaphysical too, because, there are ways which I work with within my course. Different types of metaphysical practices and things like that can help open up those things. Like we can talk about past lives and we can talk about what's on your path now and reading the cards, spiritual acceptance and being able to connect with our guides and those types of things to get information about, what might be coming or what we need to do in our life.
Okay. So you just said the words, past lives. What would you say to people? What would you say to people watching who are very skeptical about past lives? Because I'm convinced of past lives. I'm convinced that there's more after this as well. And I'm convinced that, well, I won't get into what all I believe right now. But do you see what I'm saying? How would you approach somebody that's real skeptical about that part, that key part right there?
Well, to be honest, I was very skeptical about past lives as well. I was brought up not believing in reincarnation or that type of thing. However, I do believe that all of our energy is connected and each piece of our energy is connected to some other piece of energy through nature, whatever. And so I believe that past lives, it's the same type of thing. Those people in the past, they were energy and we're all part of the same energy. So I think we have connections to them that we can maybe sense or feel what they experience because it is a part of our energy.
Do you think that has anything to do with when sometimes you meet certain people and you just feel a connection to them?
Yeah, I do. I believe that when we meet them, if we have a connection to them through that energy or are drawn to them through that energy, I think it makes a huge difference on how we relate to them, and whether or not we feel like they're a good match for us or a good connection for us.
Right. Do you think that, here's another question for you. Do you think that people opposites attract, or do you think that it's more about like-mindedness?
That one's hard because my husband and I are completely opposite of each other, but we also have some things that we very much agree on. So I think that's kind of there has to be a balance,
It has to be a good balance. I'd say, like Jeremiah and I, we balance each other very well. His strengths are not my strengths and vice versa. Well, I can't say that, not all of them, but a lot of, I think you're right. I think that there has to be that balance, the yin and the yang, so to speak.
Well, it definitely needs to be someone who is willing to support you. You know, if you're going to have a partner, it needs to be someone who's willing to support you despite, your flaws or your downfalls or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They have to be reasonably willing to adapt, and you have to be reasonably willing to adapt, and just kind of learn to work together. It is a partnership, not, or it should be a partnership, not one dominating over the other or one, filling all the needs of the other.
Or a competition.
There has to be a balance. With everything, there has to be balance.
And and also, no, it should not be a competition. Like, it should never be a competition in a relationship. I don't think.
Oh, now come on. When we play Phase 10 or Scrabble, there is competition.
I started to say, Lena, that's a little hard to swallow coming from you because you're Miss Competitive.
Well, so you're right. I am, but I'm talking about like when
But it has to be healthy competition. It needs
exactly.
to be, that they
Right.
challenge you to be your better self.
Okay, he's not wrong. I am pretty competitive with a lot of things. He's not wrong. I'm pretty straightforward. Well, I don't know about straightforward. Relentless.
Yes.
That's a good word.
Yes.
Relentless.
Relentless.
Yeah, I am pretty damn relentless. But that's okay. That's me. I accept that about myself. I accept that about myself. So Lena, do you think that? I think so you're gonna have to let us know when you get the relationship class up and running. For certain.
Well, I'm still designing the course, and all of my courses are designed with the assistance of my guide.
Okay.
I trust what she says, and anything that I am designing or doing, all of my courses, I work through them before I present them to other people, and for my personal self. And then as the students work through it, I work through it again. The last one. I decided that I was going to make this new course, Mindful Transformation, and as I worked through it, I'm going to be real with you, it hit me pretty hard because there's a lot of shadow work involved, that deeper, darker side of ourself that we just don't want to admit to.
Right.
And so, it was a difficult course for me to work through, but I also feel like it made me have a better understanding of it and whether it would actually work. And I have discovered that it's very eye-opening, and I find myself in a much better place now than I was a year ago.
Yeah, shadow work sucks. Shadow work, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's one of those necessary, it's not even an evil thing. It's neutral because, good or evil or positive, negative, that's all a matter of perspective, because what might be bad to me is not bad to Jeremiah or vice versa. And so, that's where I think a lot of people, it's all about your outlook. So yes, shadow work sucks. I said that. And it does, man. I know when I started working on mine, Lena, you probably remember it. It's just brutal. It's brutal, and you cry so much, and it's hard to face yourself. And I love the fact that my amazing husband from the beginning called it introspection, when in reality, oh no, we were doing shadow work for me. And
you weren't ready for the other words yet.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't ready for the term shadow work. But it is, and it's. I think you have to be at a certain place though before you're ready to actually recognize, unveil, embrace the side of you that we all wear a mask, so to speak, and it's hard to take that mask off and look in the mirror at your own self and internalize your own which is authentic self.
Yeah, not necessarily internalized, but more of just accepting it for what it is. It's part of you that's not going to go away.
We have to accept it.
Yeah.
That's, you have to accept all of who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think too, that's kind of what the world is going through, like right now. There is this tearing down or destruction of the soul when we're doing soul work, and we're seeing that kind of in the world right now. A lot of things are coming to light that people, maybe hadn't recognized. I mean, myself, I see a lot of people who struggle with being shallow or greedy or selfish. And a lot of those same people have, kind of stepped up and said, whoa, wait a minute. This isn't the life I want to live. I want
Right.
something different. I want something better. I want, happiness and peace. You know, and I can't say that I believe everything is going to be perfect, but I do believe there has to be a balance. And we're kind of seeing that in the world right now.
Right.
Like things are being tore down and rebuilt. We're seeing natural disasters and a new view, a new perspective, and that's what 2020 was supposed to be about.
Vision.
My guide told me in September that 2020 was about new vision, new perspective, and that things were going to happen in 2020 that were going to shift the energy so that people would be able to see that new vision.
Some people that I've talked to, mind, and bear in mind, Jeremiah and I, our beliefs and stuff. Probably not a lot of people are in line with what we believe and what we practice. However, a lot of the people that I've encountered, let's call the essential workers, okay, a lot of them have made the comments like, what, God has brought this pandemic down because he is sick and tired of how greedy the world has become, how everybody's so selfish, and we're forgetting that, we do have a higher purpose to be here, whether you call it God, the universe, energy, whatever you want to call that. What's your take on this whole thing?
To be honest, I feel like Spirit has wanted us to see this for a long time. It's been coming for a long time. A lot of people weren't taking time out to spend with families. And my guide said, people needed to see what the priorities were, what is most important, the things that we can't take with us when we go, or, the things that we need to have to maintain a healthy life. It's not about how many TVs you have in your house. It's
Right.
about, how many family members are you connected to? How do you connect to your family?
Speaking of family, I know that one family member in particular, I won't say which one just because, but one family member in particular who is not young, okay, falls in that category of really should stay away from people. That individual on Easter called just crying and crying and crying because it's like, I can't see everybody. I want to come see everybody and I can't come see everybody. And, you're right. It's like people need to shift their perspective, and everybody who's saying, oh, I'll be so glad when things go back to normal. It's like, I hope it doesn't go back to normal. I hope that what everybody is, the new perspectives and everything everybody is gathering going through this right now, whether you are stuck at home, whether you can't be around your family, you come out realizing, wait a minute, I need to stop here because there's a lot of things I was doing or not doing that I should be doing or should not be doing, or refocus my priorities.
Right.
Because you've heard that saying. It says, if somebody says, oh, I don't have time for that, switch that out and say, instead of time, say priority. Oh, it's not my priority. And I think, I hope that people come out of all of this with a newfound understanding of, like you just said, you can't take it with you when you go.
Right.
Well, and I even recently posted, it was a little picture of a pocket watch on my Facebook page, and it just said,
I saw that.
The quality time
Mm-hmm.
is the important time. It's the most important.
It is,
and I think people kind of forget that sometimes. We get so wrapped up in the rush responsibilities. We got to pay this bill, we got to pay that bill. And when it comes right down to it, we're making our life more difficult the more we stress about things that aren't truly important. They're not. They're not important. I mean, I'm not going to argue politics because that's not my thing.
Right.
I'm not a politician by any means. Uh, but life, no matter what, will find a way. And you
That's like from
know,
Jurassic Park, right? That's from the movie Jurassic Park. That's
well, yeah, maybe. I don't
yes,
know. I'm
yes,
not a
yes.
big TV
Sorry,
fan either, but
you made my
um,
day.
you know, it does. It really does. I mean, if you think about it, a seed. I'm not gonna. There is a movie that there was a section where the lady was talking about a bird eating a seed and a bird in, kind of dropping a seed. We'll just say that, and the seed growing, and that's the truth. And that's the way it happens. There's life. Bees pollinate this flower and this flower and this flower. There's always a way, but it's a very intricate system, and it's not our job to know how it works, but it is our job to connect with it and experience it and live with it and be a part of it and be gentle with it, to show
Right.
compassion for it.
Right.
Right.
Another thing that I hope people, after this is all said and done, another perspective I hope people really start to pay attention to is be mindful and be present, because you can't go back and change yesterday and you don't know
Right.
what's coming tomorrow. So, being present, just being, here and now, and actually enjoying what's going on rather than always, looking forward to Friday or, living for the weekend or whatever. It's like in doing so, you are wishing away your life because, this Monday at 2:30 in the afternoon, or it's not Monday, Thursday at, 2:30 in the afternoon, it's never going to be here again. And you only have so much time. And, I've always struggled with relationships as far as like friendships and stuff like that, like long-term deep friendships, because I've always felt like, I don't see the point in putting like energy into not pointless interactions, but like, I don't know, you only have so much time in the day, and it should be put into what are your priorities, I mean, my God, my
Well, I'm gonna
grandma's
be real
gone.
with you, like, for me, there was no fear about the virus. Originally, my guide said, the panic was going to be worse than the virus, not to worry about the virus. And eventually, I said, well, what about money? Like, I'm worried about money because I'm human too, and I have to pay bills. And my guide's response was, money's not going to matter. Not the most important thing.
Right.
And I realized my first reaction at even the thought that there might be some possibility that someone that I know might get this, and possibly die from it. My first reaction was, I want all my children. I want them right here with me.
Yep.
I want to connect with them. I want to see them. I want to spend as much time as I can, because I do not want the last things that they remember about me was, hey, mom didn't have time to talk to me because she was too busy being on the phone or
Right.
working or running around somewhere.
Right.
And I think more people had that exact same feeling than want to admit that, because
Oh, yeah.
none of us want to appear weak or vulnerable. We don't want others to think negative of us. But the fact is, the majority of people truly had some fear, whether it be about their finances or whether it be about their family, about all of this happening. But the fact is, if we do what we need to do and we trust what Spirit is saying to us and we follow through, we can get through this. We're very strong, and Spirit will guide us.
We will.
I truly believe that.
We will get through this. And what you just said, our boss had said when this all started, one of our bosses had made the comment about, a lot of medical professionals are saying, when this is all said and done, every single person is going to know somebody that this has affected personally, whether somebody lost their life to it or just got sick with it or lost a job or it's inescapable. And I'll tell you, I've had some nights that I have had super bad anxiety from all this, and you get to a place where it's like you just have to take a step back and just I literally have had to say, like, okay, as long as I'm taking a breath right now, I'm okay. You know what I mean, Lena? Like it's a lot going on for a lot of people right now. And there's, people like you in the world who, you do your best to, even if it's just one person one day, you make a difference in their life. You make a positive difference in their life, and if or just, you go to this, well, I'd say go to the store. Not that we're going to the store for non-essential items, but, just go to the store, you just smile at somebody and, and the whole, not getting close to people, like that's awful.
I think that's where one of the biggest impacts has come is that,
let there be thunder and lightning.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
that's what that is.
Damn, that echoed
Well, we
in
need
here.
to, the biggest impact, I think, too, like what, Jeremiah was starting to say, sorry, I didn't mean to read your mind a little bit.
You're fine.
But I think one of the biggest impacts is that we're being asked not to connect with people. We're being asked to, keep distance from people.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're realizing how important those connections are.
Oh,
Like how
yes.
how hard it is not to hug somebody you care about or love, or even just that you're friends with. I used to hug all my clients. Now I'm like, was that a good plan?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, my God, like what Jeremiah and I do, and, some of the other people watching what we do, well, just people in general, it's like touch is such an important thing for, people that we take care of, and we can't.
It's very healing.
We can't. And, when you're not to be, all doom and gloom here, but, when you're in the same room as somebody who's dying and either their family can't be present or like you are it for that person. And it's not right. It's just not right that, that there's all these people that they can't see their family. They can't touch their family. They can't hug their family. They can't, because, touch is it's a basic human need, and a basic human need has been, don't do it. You might get the virus. Stay 6
But
feet.
there's more to it, there's more to that touch though. There's things that come with that touch that, that we don't physically think about, that we're getting the physical reaction, but we're not thinking about all the emotional, the deep spiritual side of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the spiritual side of it, and then there's also the very physical effects of touch, which is, it releases endorphins, it releases oxytocin into your body,
Right.
It releases all these chemicals and hormones that are stress relieving and feel good hormones, and they assist your mind in coping with scenarios and situations and in tough, places that you might be at.
Right.
So there's that part of it. Then there's the energy transfer, which is edging over into the spiritual end of things. But then all of that together, along with the spiritual, has wow.
It's what we need. It's part of our life
Yes,
force, our life
it is.
source.
Yes, it is.
That's why I encourage people to learn about, chakra balancing and things like that, because, that can sometimes help when we're feeling that lack of, connection or intimacy or, just that regulation of emotion.
Right. Right.
It can be very healing.
Yes.
Things like aromatherapy and using herbs and essential oils and all those things are very important, and we need to learn more about. They're gifts that have been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, but people have drifted away from it. And
Right.
I'm not a hey, you got to eat vegetables all the time, person, because I like my meat. But we do need to be more healthy. We do need to be more careful. You know what I mean?
Yes. Sorry if the background noise is really loud. That literally is outside the windows at the moment.
Right. That's we've got quite the rainstorm. It sounds like.
Sorry, Lena.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna go check and make sure everything's secure. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
So along that note, Lena, like anybody who's watching right now that's really struggling with the isolation or not being able to see their family and whatnot, what advice, what tips do you have for those individuals?
I think that it's important to find things that bring joy to you. You know, if connecting with your people is part of that importance, you know, reach out to them by text or phone or, you know, video chat. Video chat is so important. We need to see their faces to know that they're okay.
Right.
Just having someone text you to tell you, hey, I'm okay,
Right.
doesn't let you know if they're really okay. Reach out to counselors or therapists. They're still able to talk to you. They're still able to connect. Spiritual sides, you know, people keep talking about this church thing and gathering, and, you know, and how people need to gather in these large groups. No, you don't. Spirit will listen to you wherever you're at, whatever you're doing at any given moment. And no one ever should feel like they can't turn to Spirit.
Right.
Like, ever. And it is something we can share in a group. But you know, when we're not in a group and we're not able to be in a group safely, I don't think Spirit would want us to put ourselves in harm or anyone else for that matter.
Right. Right. I agree with you on that. So, it's talking about spirit. Okay. I have some questions if it's okay with you, I have some questions pertaining to spirit guides. Kind of shift topic a little bit here. Can I ask you some questions about spirit guides?
I'll do my best to answer them.
Okay. So, so like your guide right now, can you ask her, like, how do we move forward after this pandemic? Like, holy crap, it's loud. Sorry, Lena, hang on a second. I don't even know how to block. We don't even know how to block out this loudness in the background. Sorry, guys. But anyways, back to my question. So yeah, after this pandemic is over, how do we move forward?
How do we move forward? Is that your question? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes, that's my question. How do we move forward?
I think we need to learn more about who we are in this time. You know, so many people were saying, you know, I work all the time. I never get a break. Well, now is your opportunity to take that step back, to
Okay.
do what's really, really important to you and really connect with your inner self,
Okay.
and then decide what you're going to do moving forward, you know? Because everybody's path is going to be different based on what choices they make, what they want in their life. But this is a time to visualize that. What does that future look like? You know, so many people are freaking out about what the world is doing and what the world around them, that they're forgetting none of that's going to matter if they're not right with themselves.
That's a really
So
good
if
point.
each individual were to do their part with getting right with themselves, we might be better off as a whole.
God, you're so good. She's so damn good. You know that? Okay, so next.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
It is a compliment. It is a compliment. So next question is, with your guides, do you believe, two-part question. One, do you think everybody does have spirit guides? That's the first part of the question.
Oh, I believe everybody has at least one, 5 or 6. I think they come in different forms. Sometimes they're connected as ancestors or family members, but I believe that sometimes they're not even connected that way. They just are appointed maybe for things that we need because we have a specific need for a certain type of energy, like a healer might come if we're needing healing.
Okay. So just because you have a guide doesn't mean you're always going to have the same guide.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. So
I think some of us do have one that kind of sticks with us. The majority of us have one that sticks with us the majority of the time. Like Two Worlds, she's pretty much with me all the time. If she's not here, I start to feel empty, kind of like something's missing in my life.
Oh, wow. So along with you're like your guides, so like somebody who has no idea how to connect with their guides, how do you develop a relationship with your guides or guide?
Well, for one thing, they need to express that they're wanting to connect with their guide, not just out loud, but from their inner self, their heart, their spirit. And then I believe that meditation and dreams is the best way to connect with them, because the majority of them come easier when we're in our most relaxed state. Now, some people have, just had their guides thrust upon them in a traumatic moment. But a lot of people, the best way to meet them is when you're in that most comfortable, most relaxed state, and they can come through and give you the messages. A lot of people are hearing their guide and not even realizing they're doing it.
That's what I was getting ready to
They
ask.
think of it like it's like they're subconscious. It's like, like you guys have watched Pinocchio, right?
Mm-hmm.
With
Yeah.
Jiminy Cricket, and
Yep.
he's his conscience. He's guiding him, right? And Jiminy Cricket is there to kind of help give him information or whatever. It's the same kind of thing. They talk in our head. It's our conscience. It's our subconscious. It's the part of us that totally doesn't make sense sometimes for what we're doing. That
Right.
makes total sense in the end.
So so that's the second. Okay, so how do you know when it's your own thoughts versus your guides? Is it because it's totally something random, like out of place? Like, wait, why did that just pop in my head? Or how do you know the
Right.
difference?
Well, for one thing, it's usually not pertaining to what we're doing right at that moment. They may tell us ahead of time. Like, for instance, we might be doing one thing and having thoughts about something totally different, and you're like, why am I even thinking about that?
Oh, that happens
That's
all the
usually how a spirit
time.
or a guide
Yeah.
is talking to us.
That happens all the time. to
Where
me.
the hell did that come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Lena, right quick, I wanted to share with you a few comments we got in the chat that I thought were really funny. So, Captain Carl, Captain Carl, he said, mine are a tag team. When I wear one down, they tag out.
Right?
And then Jessica said she met hers in a dream and asked the CID.
Yeah, she did. She told me about that.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, the guide thing, it's interesting.
My guide started appearing to me in dreams first. I saw her just always standing in the distance or being a part of a group or whatever in a dream. And she didn't speak English. And so I was trying to figure out who this woman was, and I kept asking people, like, I keep dreaming about her, so I figured maybe she was someone from my childhood that I knew, or maybe was a babysitter or something. Why was she always showing up in my dreams?
Right.
And it wasn't until many, many years later that I found out who she was. And I didn't realize it was her talking to me at first, because, I just thought, why the heck did I know that? Like, somebody would ask a question and I would just know the answer. And it was things I shouldn't know. And I think that was the part that surprised me. Like, I just randomly knew something in general that I didn't have a reason to know.
And part of the time you're probably like, I really don't want to know this.
Well, like here recently, somebody asked me a question about sulfur. And I was like, it's yellow. And I don't know why I knew it was yellow. But I actually had to go look it up to find out if it was really yellow. But
Oh,
my guide
wow.
told me it was yellow. It's really yellow, by the way.
Well, so that's like today, perfect example. So today I was seeing a lady and she kept saying, oh, your husband Jeremy. And I didn't want to be rude and correct because you know what I mean. I didn't want to be rude and be like, oh, it's Jeremiah.
I don't care. I've been called a lot worse.
Right.
It's okay.
Well, then all of a sudden she was like, I'm sorry, his name is Jeremiah, and I was like, oh, it's okay. You know, I was like Jeremiah was a bullfrog, and she says, man, she was like, I forgot about that song, and I said, yeah, it's Joy to the World. Oh my God, how did I even remember that? Like, I don't know what possessed me to know that. And so, Lena, it's like sometimes is like, how do we, like, these thoughts will just pop in our head, and it's like, okay, is that my thoughts or is that my guide's helping me along here? Because it is called a guide, not the answer.
Right. Well, and I think too, you know, sometimes we, you know, dismiss it. We kind of dismiss it as like, oh, it's our own thoughts, or, you know, maybe I read that somewhere, or maybe I experienced that somewhere. I'm going to be real with you. Where the heck would I have, you know, encountered sulfur?
Right.
You know
Right. Explosive, or not explosive, but flammable. It stinks. Why would you want to?
All I can think is science class.
Well, now that would be okay if I had actually really ever taken any real science classes, but I was one of those stupid kids that dropped out of school really early. I was married at 16, so I didn't really have a lot of that type of experience.
Okay.
So mine was more of a, hey, why do I know that? And I went and looked it up, and I was right. Other things like, one day my mom came to me and said, she said, look, I have a spider bite, and it's really looking bad. And my guide said, plantain and mustard. And I was like, what? And so she tells me to go to the yard. I go to the yard. She tells me which plant is plantain. Tells me to pull a leaf, bruise it, and, you know, well, wash it first. She said wash it. So I did. And then she said bruise it. So I did. She said plain, dry, yellow mustard. I put it on there, and I said, now what? She said tie it on her finger with a string.
Oh, wow.
A cotton or natural string. So I did, and the next day, all of the infection was drawn out of that spider web.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And I told my mom, the worst that can happen is it gets worse, and we have to go to the doctor. The best that can happen is it gets better.
Right.
You know,
Wow.
but it was hurting her really bad, and so she was really upset about it. And now she had this beautifully healed finger, you know?
Wow.
And I don't, you know, that's not my thing. That's not my specialty. I can't say that that's you know, I'm not a doctor, so I can't say that's a remedy for something, but it worked for her, so I trusted it. You know? And I trust my guide. When my guide said, Lena, you need toilet paper, I was like, yeah, I was kind of like, okay. And so I asked my husband, I was like, do we need toilet paper? And he said, well, we have a little. And I said, you know, we got a little extra money. Let's go ahead and get some. And, you know, at that point, I thought I better go ahead and get some extra paper towels and, you know, maybe some Kleenex, because I use Kleenex for my job. And, you know, so we went and got those things. And at that point, the next day, we heard that people were running out of hand sanitizer and Lysol wipes, and I'm like, well, that's weird. And then, you know, 5 or 6, 7 days later, there's no toilet paper anywhere to be found, and I'm like, well, thank God we bought it when we did.
See,
Right.
and okay, guys, so I have to tell you. So Jeremiah and I had a reading with Lena. Well, it wasn't even, was that first time? It was like in September or October.
It was last spring when she first started bringing that stuff up.
So Jeremiah and I get readings from Lena as often as we can afford, because, you know, we're firm believers in, you know, when somebody has these gifts, there are the times and the places to go and just ask for information. But when you have somebody who's running a business, you want to make sure you pay for the services, you know, and so as often as we can, we get readings from Lena. And I can't tell you how many times, starting last year, Lena kept just kind of hinting at like, hey guys, you know, in the upcoming months, make sure you're kind of just, you know, kind of preparing, you know,
stock up on a few things.
Stock up on a few things, you know, save your trash bags, save your plastic bags, you know, just make sure you've got, you know, extra flour. But she never said, you know, a pandemic's coming or anything like that. But then as the year dwindled away, it seemed more insistent about, hey guys, please, I'm just telling you, like my guides are saying, please, just start putting stuff back. Just have some extra canned goods in the house and stuff like that, extra diapers, stuff like that. And we just kind of were like, okay, we had no clue what was about to hit us.
Yeah.
And you guys, Lena flat out told, well, she said, before the states started having the shutdowns with, non-essential businesses and stuff like that, Lena told me, she flat out told me, hey guys, hey, by the end of this week, this shutdown is coming. And, she was right.
Yeah.
She was right. I even told a few people, Lena, don't be mad. I even told a few people, like, guys, so you always wonder, like, Jeremiah's a reader, and you always wonder, well, who do readers go to? Who do you guys use for, your psychics and your, who do you get readings from and stuff like that? And so I'm like, guys, Lena, the person we go to, one of the people that we go to, she said, by the end of the week, and then sure as shit, it happened. It happened, and then, on New Year's Day, Jeremiah and I both had a reading from Lena, and same thing, as we're going through our year here, she does these readings where it's, basically like she kind of touches on each month of the upcoming year. And, Lena, I really appreciate how you word things, by the way. You don't just outright call out something. You just, the way that you ease into things, I very much appreciate that, by the way. I had to tell you that. But yes, I just remember that, like, I'll never forget that. And that's not the only time that's happened with Lena, that she has called out something ahead of time. And then it has come to pass. I'm talking, even there's been a few times that she's called out something for you or for me or for us that has come to pass within a couple weeks of her saying it would.
Yeah.
And, whether we're, it's just, you're so incredible, Lena. If there's anybody who's never had a reading with Lena, oh my God, you need to get one, because she just knows what she's talking about, man.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of knowing what you're talking about, are you okay if we go ahead and extend, if anybody wants to ask you a question? Would it be okay if we go ahead and go to that part of the show here?
Absolutely. We can do a couple. I'm going to be real with you. I can't visually see them or their messages or anything like that.
So can I say that, guys, with your questions, try to make them, Lena, how do you want me to say it? Like, not easy answers, but basically like, it can be more than yes or no answers though, can't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. The main thing is, like, right now, I am going to have to, because I don't have a visual chat to look at their name or anything like that, or a way to physically connect with their energy, because I'm not able to watch the video while I'm on the chat or on the phone.
Right.
I am going to need you to tell me their first name.
Okay.
Okay. No, that's fine.
And what their
that's
question
fine.
is.
Okay. While some of those are popping up, we had
guys, go ahead and start typing out your questions on the chat here for Lena, for our lovely Lena, and we will ask them as many as we can within the time frame.
We had one pop up a while ago from Captain Carl.
Oh yeah.
And he wants to know, this is a little bit more of a direct question, but he said, Lena, do you think my guide uses some of the entities in the building at work to get messages to me?
Absolutely. One of the things that happens with our guides is they actually bring messages through other people or through little synchronicities to give us the answers. And I do believe that they would use those spirits and anyone who's available to make sure that you're listening. They'll always try to go through you first, but if you're not listening, they'll find another way.
Wow.
I am being told that at this point, they're also trying to give him messages to help him better his business or the business that he's working with.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so another viewer asked, Lena, do you see court coming up please don't say for what. And her name is Rochelle.
I'm sorry, tell me again.
Okay, so the lady watching, her name is Rochelle, and she said, Lena, do you see court coming up? But without saying what the court is for, basically. Is that making sense?
I am being told it is a possibility that there will be a court situation, but I'm being told that it will probably come out in their favor. So my guide says for them to be patient and not jump to any conclusions, but document everything prior to the court.
Okay. Rochelle, I hope that answered your question. Thank you for your question, by the way.
Yeah, I hope it's helpful.
Oh, I'm sure it will be. While we're waiting on somebody else to ask a question, Jeremiah, do you have any questions? I have one very specific question.
Go for it.
How do I say this with being not too direct? Okay. Do you, in the near future, or does your guides give you any kind of indication about outcomes in regards to, do you get any kind of a not great vibe in regards to, because Jeremiah and I deal with a total of 4 other parents, right? We've got, his kids' mom and the person she's with, and we've got my kids and their dad and the person he's with. And do you kind of get any inkling as to, and you don't have to say which one or which direct parent we're talking about here, but do you get any direct indication that anything negative is coming about for any of them in the pretty near future?
I do feel one of them is struggling with a very, very difficult illness, and there could be some difficulties surrounding that and their ability to be present for the children. I also feel like that is going to change or shift the amount of time or I guess the time that you spend with those children.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. I didn't even say medical.
That is definitely one that my guide is indicating we need to maybe address on a more personal, private level,
right,
because there are a lot of details there that she's giving
sure,
me that I cannot, because of confidentiality.
Nope, that's fine.
Really
that's fine.
Out.
I just wanted to see if your guide was any indication of any of the other people we deal with. Anyways, okay, so we'll move forward.
We do know the exact situation that you're talking about, and you're at least in the part that can be seen right now. You're exactly spot on. So
God, I didn't even say medical. Guys, I didn't even say medical, and that's what we were going for. Okay, somebody by the name of David asked, what will Shannon's roughest month of this year be?
What will be
Shannon's roughest month of this year?
My guide is indicating that the time around the passing of her brother will be very difficult.
Has he passed?
I'm sorry?
Oh, no, sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Okay, so, all right, so what month, do you have a month? What month that'll be?
She did not give me a specific date. She just said around the brother's passing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's already in spirit. She does indicate there was a heart condition or something there.
Oh, wow, okay. So somebody by the name of Christy. Wow, David just confirmed that. Yes, 3 years ago.
Wow.
Damn, Lena. Okay. Christy.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. Christy asked, she said, "Hi, Lena. I just had my best friend pass away in January. I haven't felt her around me. It worries me that she is okay."
I am being told that she is very, very close, and that the reason why that Christy is not feeling her presence is because Christy is believing it's just her memories or her imagination, because she wants her to be close. She just needs to listen more to the things that are happening around her. I'm being told that she's had experiences where there has been noises or doors banging and clanging, the sounds of things turning on and off, like clicking sounds. All of those are associated with that spirit being present, and she has been trying to show her that she's there. I'm also being told that she's a very funny and happy spirit. She's very peaceful. She's very sassy, and she misses their laughter.
Oh, wow.
She also shows me T-shirts for some reason.
T-shirts? Okay, Christy. Maybe that means something to you, Christy. I hope it does. Let's see. Okay. Somebody by the name of Jessica is wondering if anything from her friend Charles who passed away. Lena, anything from my friend Charles who passed away?
I'm being told that Charles is very peaceful in spirit also. Definitely a protector, and actually has been appointed a guide to a young man within the family.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so he has been very much trying to take care of the family members. He's very outgoing, but he is also very down to earth, real easy to get along with.
Okay. Next question is...
He comes across as like a fighter kind of guy, but he has this really like teddy bear feel about him. It's really funny.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's cool. I think it's so cool when you get all this insight for everybody. Let's see. Somebody by the name of... Oh, so Jessica just said his nephew, I'm sure. Wow. That's so cool. Let's see. Somebody by the name of Shannon... Oh, by the way, confirmation from Kristen, what you just said. She said, thank you. She left me her box of concert t-shirts.
Awesome.
That's so cool. Shannon said, I'm just going to read what she said. She said, my dad passed away 2 years ago. In a reading once, Lena told me to talk to him out loud, and I do sometimes. Is he around me? Is there some sign I'm missing? And her name is Shannon.
I'm being told that he is around. One of the things that you can definitely sense with him is coffee. He smells like coffee when he comes through.
Oh, wow.
Not sure why he smells like coffee, but he definitely smells like coffee to me. He's very, very peaceful in his energy. He has been watching over the family, but he does say that he tried to come to her in dreams, but she has very restless sleep, and so sometimes it's hard for her to connect.
Okay. This lady, her name is Kathy. I'm not sure if this is a question, Kathy, but she typed out, looking for signs, am I missing them?
My guide is indicating no, but that they've been a little preoccupied with watching over a youngin'. That's how she said it, a youngin'.
Okay. A youngin', I like that. Okay, so somebody named Becky says, my mom took off suddenly to live with my sister. Is she going to be okay?
I'm being told yes. The guides are with them, watching over them both, actually, with the sister and the mother.
Oh, wow.
I'm also being told, I don't know which, you've named several Kathys. I don't know which one this is for, but there's a gentleman in spirit who says, I try to let you know I'm here. I miss our time by the fire. And he said, please, please express that he loves her.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, Kathy, that was for you. Let's see. Jeremiah, do you have a question?
He just said it was for Kathy. He didn't say which one,
Okay.
but he does indicate that that they were very much outdoorsy people. He shows me a cabin, which is really weird. Cabins or some sort of cabin-like. It looks like a cabin to me, anyway.
Kathy said thank you. So Lena, while we're waiting for another question here, I have a question for you. So, does my grandma come through at all?
Your grandmother's always there. That woman is so gentle. I'm being told she was so much like a mother to you, and she says, you know, she never wanted anything except the best for you, and she is very happy that you are finding a space and making roots. She said she always knew you were kind of restless, and now you have found your roots.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so another question on here. This is from Kenna, and the question is Rudy around me?
I am being told yes. Rudy likes to go on long walks and loves nature.
Anything else about Rudy?
I am being told that Rudy is restless and needs to get outside more, but it's really cold.
Jeremiah, do you know who Rudy was? Or what Rudy was? Okay. Okay. A lady named Barbara says, "Hi, Lena."
I'm being told that Rudy is a dog.
It's not a. It is a pet, but it's not a dog. It is a furry animal, though.
Oh, interesting.
It's not a dog.
I was being told dog.
But Rudy was as big as a miniature, like a dog. Rudy was huge. He was a cat. Huge cat.
Oh.
But like, I don't know how much Rudy weighed, but he was a big old boy.
I'm being told Rudy loves to go on long walks out in nature. But it's too cold.
It is too cold.
And even though they told me that Rudy was a dog, the way they indicate is that Rudy has been spending very, 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 very quality time with the owner, Kenna person.
Wow. Okay.
Now, you said somebody said hi to me?
Yeah, her name's Barbara. Oh, okay. Now I got another question. This lady's name is Debbie, and she wants to know, who are my spirit guides?
So for that one, I'm being told that there is a healer woman who has long dark hair who is Native American. I do not get a name for her. I usually suck at names. But one of the things that I'm being told is that when she's around, you can smell flowers, very strong smell of like flowers. I call it sanctuary smell, or because it often smells like a church or walking into a church.
Okay.
The incense smells, or the herbal flowery smells, floral smells.
Okay.
I am being told there's also a guide who comes through as a protector who is a grandmother.
Oh, wow. Okay. Debbie had another question for you. She says, does she see any major life changes in the future?
I am being told there will be some changes for physical health, a much healthier body and healthier lifestyle. I am also being told that there will be possibly some new creative inspiration coming their way, and that they should follow through with whatever they're being told, because that is the guides helping them get on this new path.
Okay.
Hey, Lena.
Very strong financial security coming for that person as well, for that Debbie person.
Okay.
That's always nice to hear.
Yeah.
When I was shuffling here, the King of Pentacles fell out, and the King of Pentacles is the best money card you can get in all the cards. So
Yeah.
Well, Debbie,
beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful abundance.
There you go.
So I have another question for you, Lena.
Mm-hmm.
In my spiritual walk, all the way from back when I was 4 years old up until now, I've on a very sporadic basis, I've had actual visions of my ancestors and such. And there's one person in particular that I've seen twice in these visions. One was the first time that I had, or that I remember having one of these visions many, many, many years ago. And the second time was just recently at a I'll call it a time of transition down with my family. And I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And this, I'm not going to call him a gentleman because he looks like a pre-gentleman person. I mean, he's he's very tribal in his appearance. He always has on like a green tunic and a leather armor belt and leather vambraces. Very much a warrior farmer type from, the part of my family that comes from Scandinavia, I believe.
Yes.
And he has a scar over the top of his left eye. Is there any indication who he might be?
Who is it?
I am being told that he is a great, 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 great grandfather.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you should be able to trace back to that history.
Okay.
Go back about 6 or 7 greats there.
Wow, that's a ways back. So, okay.
Right.
Okay, another question. So earlier, a Barbara said, "Hi, Lena." The same Barbara has a question. She says, I'm wondering about my parent that passed away last year. Is he doing okay?"
I am being told he is in a much better place, much happier. Also, that he visits regularly as well, but you may get him more in dreams. You definitely need to get some good relaxation so they can come through a little easier.
Okay.
He was kind of a firm guy. He was kind of set in his ways, is what I'm being told.
He must have been a Leo. Okay, so Kenna wants to know, is it possible Rudy wants to come back as a dog?
It's a possibility.
Okay.
At this point, they did show me a dog, so that's why I assumed he was a dog. I knew it was an animal, and then they showed me a dog.
Okay. Esty has a question. Esty said, "For the past few months, I have had a block that no matter the shadow work I attempt, it seems like it is just out of my reach. Where should I turn my focus to, and what first step should I take?"
My guide is telling me to tell Esty that all the power lies within, and self-doubt is what's blocking him.
Sorry, Esty, I'm laughing because Barbara said, "I think he was a Leo."
The self-doubt is what's blocking Esty from moving forward.
Esty, quit doubting yourself. Okay.
Esty has beautiful, beautiful gifts, many intuitive gifts, many creative gifts, but the best gift is the ability to love unconditionally and to share compassion. And I'm being told that Esty needs to, remember that the things that were said or done in the past are in the past, and those things cannot bring harm to the current unless Esty allows them to be.
Okay.
Esty has great power when it comes to connecting with people and bringing people together in joy. And Esty has a good sense of humor and a friendly ability to be able to help others and heal others. And it is really important at this point for Esty to stop doubting, because there's a calling there that has been happening for the last 2 years. And Esty has an insecurity about opening that up to the public.
Okay. Esty, I hope that helps you. Shannon, there's a Shannon on here. She asked, "Is there a difference between intuition and our guides sending messages?"
The guides that send messages use intuition. They use telepathy, actually, to speak to us often. The intuition basically is the ability to connect to them or hear them, but also a sense of feeling that we're having about things that are happening. I do believe there's a difference because, like, my intuition, I can just feel or sense something that's going to happen ahead of time. But with my guide can reach out and touch me in a physical way.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is a spirit I can't see, but can physically touch me.
Oh, wow. Shannon, I hope that
Also,
answered your question.
a lot of like angels, and a lot of people will tell you the angel spirits that come through. They come through with a very weird, or at least for me, they come through with a very weird high pitched tone. And sometimes guides will come in with tones like that as well, but not near the way an angel does. Like when an angel comes to me, it's like such a high pitched tone, it feels like my head is going to explode. And I have to ask them to step back for a second and then tell me. And then it's like I get a visual of them or a bright light. And then I hear the words in my head. Not in my ears, but in my head.
Right.
So like telepathy.
Wow. So, okay, next question. Becky asked, is my grandpa Bernard happy that I finally found his family after all these years?
I am being told yes. There was a lot of bad blood there, and the hope is that, that because of the disconnect and everything, that Becky will be able to find better connections and learn more about the family heritage and history.
Okay.
I'm also being told that there was also some misunderstandings, and that the work that she's done to bring that to bring that family together is a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm also being told Becky is a very, very gifted psychic as well and needs to follow through with that. Very intuitive energy there.
She is. You're right. She is.
Very strong empath also.
Oh, wow. You hear that, Becky? Lena, you're so good. Well, I think that pretty much we are at 8:26 right now. So, okay, one more question. Last question. This also is from Becky. She said, why did they call him the boss? Sorry, why did they call them the boss?
I'm very sorry. I'm not getting an answer for that. Can they rephrase it maybe?
Becky, can you rephrase the question?
I'll be real with you. When they said the boss, all that came to me was Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
I mean, I get that they're wanting to know why they were called. A person was wanting to call that, but is it a male? Is it a female? Is it a?
I don't know. Let's see if Becky will rephrase the question. Bernard.
Oh.
The boss.
Yeah. Why did they? Her grandfather that she asked about a while ago. Why did they call him the boss? I think that's what she's asking.
Okay, ask me one more time because you kind of cut out for a second. I'm so sorry.
Her grandfather Bernard that she asked about earlier.
Uh-huh.
Why did they call him the boss?
Yeah, that's the question.
I'm being told that he was very large and in charge. That's the one that was very firm, very strict about setting his ways, is what I'm being told.
Okay.
But he was also very, very, very much someone who would help someone, who would go out of his way to help someone. As long as he didn't think you were an idiot, is what that's the words my guide said to me.
All right. Cool. Well, I think that is ending that on a good note. Well, Lena, you are just, as always, you're incredible. Jeremiah is going to post your page, or send us whatever you want us to post for you as far as how to get a hold of you or connect with you. Anybody who's
actually
curious.
The best way, at this point, the best way to reach me is through Facebook. You can go to my website or to my Facebook page and message me directly through that. It goes right to my phone. And my phone number is listed on there as well, so they can call me to schedule appointments if they'd like.
Okay.
My website's listed on there. So Facebook is definitely one of the best. And it's listed under Peaceful Whispers LLC.
Okay.
Okay. I will post a link to the page as on the video description as soon as we are off air. And thank you so much for coming on with us. It's been great now that we actually got equipment working and shit. So.
As always, as always.
Well, I thank you guys for having me on, and many, many blessings to all of you. Thank you guys who participated in the readings. I hope they were helpful. And if you guys have further questions or want to schedule a reading, just reach out. We'll get you scheduled.
Yay. Yay.
All right.
Very cool.
We're going to have your awesome husband on here as a guest, and he can talk about what he does too.
Yeah, we'll have to work on him.
Yes. Yes, we will.
He does some pretty amazing chakra balancing, so.
Yes, he does. Everybody said thank you, Lena.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. All right, Lena, we're going to hang up with you, my dear.
Then I can go join the show, right?
Yes. Yes, you can join the show for a few minutes. We've got a few more minutes.
I will talk to you very soon. Many blessings.
Yes,
sounds
we love
great.
you. Thank
we
you.
always look forward to it.
Bye,
Bye.
Lena.
Bye. Well, that was awesome as always.
Oh my God, that was cool. That was really, really awesome of her to just come on and let people ask questions.
Right, yeah.
You know, I would imagine, yeah, she's just so incredible.
Yeah.
She's just so
I
incredible.
don't think, I wouldn't be confident enough to do that yet.
Oh, for what you do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Tell everybody watching what you do.
Huh?
Tell everybody watching what you do.
Well, I do,
Well, you do a lot.
I do a lot of different things, but intuitively, I do rune readings that I tend to get pretty good reviews on. So,
okay, what is a rune reading?
so it's I don't have my runes out here with me, but it's runes are the rune sets that I use are the Elder Futhurk, which are the ancient Scandinavian alphabet, and they're broken down into symbols.
Actually, these.
all these.
Those are all runes. Well,
Except
the words.
All the gray ones that's the runes that I use, and I have a set that I hand carved and have consecrated. I've got several sets, but I read those. It's a lot like.
Which, Alina, we're working on your set, right?
What's that?
You're working on Lena's set?
Yes.
Lena's getting a set of runes.
And so, yeah, it's and I'm learning Tarot, and I'm learning the bones, and I learn anything that I can, but
I want to get Argos on here.
yeah.
You need to read. You need to. That just came to me. You need to make that happen. You need to get a hold of him and have him get on here. That would be incredible. Him and his wife.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Amalia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway.
But yeah, I was just for anybody curious. Yeah, you do readings.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, you do readings, and you're so damn accurate with them too. Oh my goodness, never fails, man. If I'm like, honey, will you do a reading for me? And he'll do it. And is it hard to do a reading for somebody that you know? Like, is it easier to do a reading for somebody you don't know?
Sometimes it can be hard to leave the bias out.
I would think so.
Because it's, I want to deliver you the best message that I can. But, that bias of what I want to say sometimes is hard to leave out, in lieu of saying what I need to say, what I'm being told to say. Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm.
Man. But
I think I generally do a pretty good job of that.
Oh my God, most of the time you give me readings, I cry. Jeez. I know, that's a true story. Most of the time Jeremiah gives a reading to me.
It's not that bad. I mean, I don't go into it mean.
No, it's just because a lot of times with the readings that he does, a lot of shadow work comes out, and I always cry. I always cry with shadow work. Never fails. It's my go-to. Not on purpose, but it just happens.
That's definitely something that the shadow work comes out a lot with my readings, and I don't mean for it to. It just does.
Well, I think that's just kind of in the nature with a rune reading.
That I don't know.
Or maybe
honestly,
just the way that you
know,
read them.
I tend to be pretty insightful with that type of thing, so I think that's the way that it comes out for me.
Right.
So.
Right.
So anyway, I think let's see here. It's 8:35, so we better start winding down and getting ready to hop off of here. But
thank you guys for watching.
Yes,
Lena, thank you for coming on. We love you so much.
Thank you for bearing with us through all the crap last night, and then a very successful show tonight, I think. And
so
then
too.
we will be back next Wednesday. Wednesday will be a regular night. Wednesday is 7 p.m. sharp, and we'll see you guys then.
Yeah, in the meantime, if you have any questions, you can message us, or, if you guys have any ideas for a type of reader or a topic that you would like us to find somebody who knows a lot about, we can do that too. So we got lots of people. We got people.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of people.
Do us another favor as well. On our Facebook page, Darkness Live, scroll down through there, and just a few posts back, there should be a link to our YouTube page. Now, we have several hundred people that have liked Darkness Live on Facebook. I would really like for as many of you as possible to go subscribe to that YouTube page so that I can get a link that is easier to find.
No doubt. It's impossible to find our link on YouTube. Like, you can't find it.
You can't search for it because the band The Darkness takes up that entire search.
I believe in a thing called love.
So,
oh God,
anyway,
that band. I forgot about that band.
if I can get 100 subscribers on YouTube, then I can get a custom URL, and that is easier to find. So yeah, please do us that favor. Just go subscribe to us on YouTube, and yeah,
that'll be good. Do it up.
So anyway,
do it up.
Thank you for watching, and again, thank you, Lena, for coming on tonight.
And hey, we're still alive. We came back after 5 months. We came back.
Yes, we did.
We missed this, so.
And the studio will start coming together in the next month or so. It's going to be cool. I've already got the designs floating around in my head. I don't know if there's going to be much I can do about the storm noise like we had earlier. But
that was insane.
That
wasn't it? Oh my God.
But yeah, we'll see you guys back next week. And you guys have a great week and a great weekend. And in the meantime, don't be afraid of the dark.
Bye.
I've been waiting too long to say that again.
Oh my gosh. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.